Hello. Okay, we're working. I just had some very unfortunate mic issues, but we are back and ready to drink tea. Okay, I think my background music's maybe a little bit high. Let's turn you down. Bit more. Yeah, that's fine. Right, so hello. I would like to drink some tea. Would you like to join me? Yeah. Awesome. Actually, let's get my other avatar on, I think. I think this is the way. Yeah, it's me. Look. I'm in a cup. Woo. Oh, so cute. So fun. Yes, so hello everyone. It's getting a bit late in the day for me here. It's starting to get a bit dark. You can probably even tell from my lighting. Exciting. Turn that. Oh, maybe. Okay. Let's go with low lighting for now, but I'll turn that up if I need it. So today, it's getting slightly later in the day. Wouldn't be my usual time to drink some tea, but I thought I'd give it a go. Test out some time zones. Yes, so I will be drinking today some Oolong. Let's try and get a close-up of that. So Oolong tea, semi-fermented tea, as you can see from here, quite tightly rolled into these little pellet shapes. Oh, I'm gonna have to do a beauty vlogger. Come on, focus. Come on. No, no, yes, no, maybe. Well, trust me, you'll see later on as we go. These are quite full whole leaves that are rolled into little pellets, and they will unfurl as I'm brewing. This one in particular, it's on the lighter side for an oolong. Oolongs can range quite dramatically from very green tea adjacent to very black tea adjacent. This one's more on the green tea side of things. Yeah, so oolongs, for those who care to know, are basically semi-fermented teas, where green tea is the complete, well, as unoxidized as you can get it. You pick the leaf, and before it starts to brown at all, you heat it up, you steam it, you roast it, pan fry it for like a long jing or something. That stops any browning from happening. Black tea, or more correctly red tea, that is fully bruised to like the darkest it can be, and oolongs can be anywhere on that spectrum in between. So yeah, today we're going to go for a slightly greener oolong. Now, when I found this, it was in a little tin which didn't have a particular label on it. It was labelled as you can probably see from the bottom of the screen, yellow gold oolong. That's as much information as I had on it, so I definitely had more at some point. Am I peaking a little bit? Let's turn the mic down a little touch too. Yeah, so I definitely had more information at one point or another, but it has been lost to time. I have many little boxes and tins of tea that, yeah, kind of mysterious, but it looks nice. And I had it last week and it was nice, so I'm gonna have it again. So I'm going to be brewing it Kung Fu style, which basically is, there is a whole history of it from like Southeast China, a way in which to really get the maximum out of the tea. If you ask me, I think it's one of the best ways in which you can experience tea. Let me just get my kettle going. Let's go for 85, 86. Yeah, I'm going to go for 86 degrees on this one. So yeah, it's going to be brewed Gong Fu style. Like I say, it's the way in which I'm going to brew this. Now, very basic, really. It looks like I've got, ooh, what's all this crap I've got going on here? It's honestly, it's super easy. You need a brewing vessel, which for me today is going to be this Gaiwan, which, as you can see, is basically, it's just a bowl with a lid on it. That's what it is. So what I'm going to be doing is brewing the tea in this. Then when it's time for the tea to be decanted, I'm going to use the lid to hold back the leaf as I pour into this little jug, which is going to be my Gangdao Bei, which I think the loose translation is a fairness cup. So if I was to be brewing for multiple people, say I had some guests with me today, say you are my guests, if I was to brew directly into the cup, like 3 or 4 cups, yoink, say I had multiple cups here, if I was to brew into each of those, the first tea that I brew would be slightly weaker, and as I get more, it'd be slightly darker. Now, you can, and again, in like the full base tradition Gong Fu style, you could sort of go around in a circle and try and even it out as much as you can as you're brewing. Or you can brew into a separate vessel, therefore incorporating all the tea evenly, and then pour out into your individual guests' cups, so everyone has the exact same flavour of tea. Yeah, so brewing vessel, holding vessel, sharing vessel, and drinking vessel. My little cup with my little fishies in it. Isn't that cute? Yeah, choosing the right cup is just as important as anything else in this process, if you ask me. But I am biased because I kind of like this stuff. So yeah, I'll pop that back by its little labelled area. In fact, I'm probably going to use all that leaf, so I'll do something about that. But yeah, let's get started, I suppose. Because I'm itching for some, yeah, I'll just use all of it. So that is ruined my little setup instantly. You know, let's try to do something about that. I had a backup with this. There we go. Pop you there. Does that work? Yeah, pretty much. I might, oh, do you know what, just cause testing my OBS knowledge here. Can I do this? Yeah. Yeah. No, actually, do you know what, that upsets me. I don't know why that upsets me, but it does. Maybe if I do that, I'll be less upset. I know, something about the uneven nature of that was driving me a little bit mad. But there we go. Should be less precious, really, shouldn't I? Anyway, so that's that's me struggling with tech. Let's not do that. Oh, I'm just speaking of tech. I'll take my little stream manager out the way there. Okay, so what shall I do? So I'm waiting for my kettle to heat up there. Now I'll run you through the basics of how this tends to work. So I put quite a lot of tea. It doesn't look like quite a lot of tea, but when you see it start to brew, those leaves will sort of rehydrate, and that'll be pretty much a full. So it's about that level there. That's going to become pretty much a full bowl of tea, which you will see. So how I'm going to brew it is quite a lot of leaf to a relatively small amount of water. At that point, I only let the tea leaves steep for about 30 seconds. I might get a bit more than 30 seconds as we progress into future brews, which, spoiler alert, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be rebrewing the leaves multiple times. So for this amount of leaf, I think a good 7 or 8 brews I'm going to get out of this one. We'll see if I go for the full 7 or 8 on stream, but that's definitely what I'm going to try and do in any case. So yeah, that's my water now brewed. For the first brewing of the tea, I'm not actually intending to drink it. So what I'm doing here is essentially just rinsing the leaves. Oh yeah, in fact. Oh yeah, which is a prime example when the water first hits it. Prime example. A prime opportunity. Oh, to really get your nose in there and start sniffing. Oh, I'm not sure I like that. I might have to move this. But yes, anyway, so basically that first one is just to rinse the leaf because it's been on a long journey, you know, it's come all the way here from China. I do believe, if memory serves, this is from the Weiyu Mountains. I think it's got some connection to a Tikuan Yin. It's not a Tikuan Yin, I'm fairly... Do you know what? I should keep better records of the teas that are in my little stash, you know? So... Oh, is there someone in the chat? Hello! Hey! Excellent. I am pleased. Oh, no? Don't be sorry. Please, I'm happy to have people here. So, yeah. Hello, welcome. I'm drinking tea today. I'm just talking about how the first brew of tea, which is what I've done here, I've just started, so you've not missed much, don't worry. I'm just rinsing the leaves of any dust and basically giving them an opportunity to rehydrate. Oh, yes, it is actually. Hi. Well, that's not my first stream. I've done a couple, but it's my first stream with like this current setup. So I'll put a bit of work in behind the scenes just because, you know, I like fiddling around with things and, you know, getting it just right. So yes, I have rinsed this, but I don't really want to let this tea go to waste. I'm going to use this opportunity to heat up all my like cups and all my jugs and everything. And even then, I've still got more. So that's what these little guys are for, these little figurines that I've got. I've got a little guy down here as well. These are my tea pets. So what you would do is, rather than, you know, quote unquote, waste the tea. Oh, well, I mean, I assume there's going to be a lot of lurkers. It's this is what I do on Twitch personally as well. When I'm watching streams, I just kind of sit in the background and watch. But yeah, I'm going to give my tea pet a little drink here. So there we go. Just pour this tea away. Feels wasteful, but I promise you, that first brew, because I did it for such a short amount of time as well, it really wasn't going to taste of much. So yeah, ooh. Lots of noise. Since I've got someone here, actually, how's my volumes? Is everything okay? I remember last time I tried to have a look at this, my background music was so loud I couldn't hear a word I was saying. But yeah, let me know if everything's okay. It would be nice to have a bit of feedback. And as I'm waiting on said feedback, I'm going to start my first proper boot. Oh, well, thank you. Honestly, again, any feedback is good, but positive feedback is better. Puts a smile on my face as I'm drinking my tea. So yes, I'm going to enjoy my first proper brew of this oolong. Here we go. So, nice, thank you. So yeah, I'm going to give this just a few seconds. Doesn't take much, especially the first brew. Here we are. So, are you much of a tea drinker? That's fourception going on there. There's a lot of fours happening in your name, and I love it. Yeah, so do you drink much tea? Secondary question, do you drink much tea in this sort of fancy pants style? Because I do find this is my favourite way in which to drink tea, but it's not necessarily very common in like the West, as it were. So yeah, this is my first brew. Already, you can see from how the leaf started down here, it's already starting to open up just a little bit more. It's getting a little bit more full. That is going to expand even more. So we'll get to about brew 3 or 4, and it's going to be quite noticeable. And the colour of the tea itself comes out very nicely. Maybe need like a... Does that work? Yeah, that kind of works. Oh, my cat is being a nuisance. Oi! Come on, get down. Get down. Oop. Did that work? No, it didn't. Yes, so a lovely, rich, ambery, greeny, goldy colour. Oh, well, sorry to hear about your health issues. I mean, there are some people who will talk extensively about the health benefits of tea, and I don't know, you always got to take that with a pinch of salt, really, don't you? It's... don't get me wrong, tea is great for you. There's all sorts of antioxidants and stuff, and blah, blah, blah. Beware of anything that says it's a miracle cure. But honestly, it's a good hobby. This is why I do it. I think it's a really good hobby. It focuses my mind. It's something to do. And as I will prove to you now, it's more than just a good hobby to do with your hands. It tastes great too. But honestly, actually, even if I did this with water, I think the little ritual, the little cyclical process, even if I did it with water, would be pretty fun. I don't know what it is about this. There's something tactile about all this, which I really enjoy. No, come on, cat. Get down. Get down. I'm not sure if you can even hear her on stream. She's far enough away from the mic that you probably can't hear her, but she's meowing up a storm. Here we go.
Hello there.
Oh yeah, very satisfying indeed. Oh, what's this? Hey! Oh, thank you, man. You are officially... Oh, I've got 2 alerts happening at once there. Whoops. Well, I thought I'd had a little play around with it, but obviously I've went a bit too far. Yeah, thanks for my follow, man. That's literally the first follow I've had, and appreciated. Here, cheers to your health. Like, genuinely, like the OG of the OG right here. Whoops, Mike. Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. And as you were saying there, yes, this is all very satisfying. I find it personally very satisfying anyway. Yeah, the tea aspect itself, I honestly love. You can get really in depth with it. You can go like as in depth with it as people get about like wines and whiskies and stuff like that. It's a really fun aspect, but just the whole brewing it thing itself, yeah, it talks to my soul, dude. It really does. So, official first follower. How do you think tea fits in with the whole Twitch environment? Because I'm not entirely sure myself. Obviously, it's a big sort of gaming platform, isn't it? That's like the main thing. But I'm seeing a lot more food and drink streams. Like, do you know what was actually a big inspiration for me to start doing this? Just outing myself instantly as a massive weeb here, but I've been getting into sort of quite a lot of VTubers over the last year or so. Have you ever seen Onigiri? It's like she's a VTuber cooking streamer. Oh, it's really, honestly, very good. So I'm wondering about, like, is food and drink really got a place on Twitch? You know, I hope it does. Oh, did. Past tense. I don't know, I never really... Like, Twitch has become... It's fairly new for me, if I'm honest with you. I'm like a I've just been a YouTube hoe for ages, you know? I've never really bothered with Twitch. And then like I say, in the last year or so, I've started looking into it more and watching female streamers and... Oh, thanks, dude. Honestly, you are making my evening right now. Thanks so much. Yeah, I mean, I think this is my fucking superpower, basically, when it comes to this sort of stuff, is I care. I give a crap, you know, that's not nothing, you know. There's a lot of, like, when I was growing up and, like, surrounded all the time by people, and, like, to this day you get surrounded by people where it's cool not to care about stuff, if that makes sense. And I mean, I don't care what you care about, but care about something, you know. And this just happens to be what I've chosen to care about, and yeah, and god damn if I don't care. Yeah, so that's something that I gravitate towards this a lot. Like, if somebody really is passionate about something, I want to sit them down in front of me and just say, talk, like, tell me the stuff, tell me all the things. Yeah, so hopefully if I just bring that same energy, people will just gravitate towards that. Who knows? It's the hope anyway. Don't get me wrong, I'm not aiming to be like a pro streamer here or anything. This is me just doing something with my evening, you know what I mean? Yeah, moving on to the second brew now. Again, I'm still keeping it fairly short on time. Just kind of maneuvering some of these leaves that are poking out the top away. Again, that's like a satisfaction thing for me as well, just all neat and tidy, everything in its place. There we go. I'm going to need a better angle for pouring this. I think my hand's in the way a bit too much. Oh, the smell's coming. Every brew as well, like the smell just opens up, just... Oh, yeah. So good. You can see we're even more open now. Like I say, I think I was saying... We get to around about 3 or 4 brews and it's going to really blossom outwards. It's really cool. Yeah, do you know what? I should do that. That's actually a good call. Because like the majority of my experience with Twitch has been watching like 2K plus viewers in a stream, you know. I've not really done much on like looking at the smallest. Do you know what? Now I'm thinking about it. What a stupid thing. I really should be looking at more smaller streamers and seeing what they're doing for inspiration, if nothing else. Yeah, I should do that more. What did you used to stream? Was it more gaming stuff, or more like just chatting, chill out kind of vibes? Also, as well, clear goal and reason. I have a goal and a reason, but it's fuzzy. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna like, be here, chill out, drink tea. Is that a clear enough goal? Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Well, the flavor. Okay, the second brew is coming out even more now. The flavors are great. It's got like a real like honey sweetness to it. Yeah, I mean, okay, you're right enough saying that. I think the cliche is it's just like some dude in his bedroom with an unfocused camera and poor lighting, silently playing a video game. That's not necessarily entertaining, is it? That was my worry with this, actually, is like, how entertaining is this? It is, I will say, I'm already having way more fun this stream than I have in like the previous test streams I've done, because no one was chatting. So, honestly, this is why I'm saying you're making my evening right now. Having someone to chat to is, I think, making this whole thing, what's to say, more engaging, more interesting. Otherwise, it's just me like sitting talking to myself about stuff I know with tea. well, my mission accomplished. I do like, the more people drinking tea, the better, if you ask me. It's like, it's just fucking, it's good, it's tasty, it's fun, there's worse things to be excited and passionate about. I did actually have I've not really drank booze for about 2 years-ish now. But I had a phase when I was like a massive whiskey nerd, and that was fun as well. But I know I somehow feel a little bit better once I've had like a proper tea session than a whiskey session. Yeah, if you've got, you say you bought some tea and you never got around to it, if you've still got it, tea doesn't really go off as long as you keep it correct, as long as you store it like cool, dry, out of direct sunlight, airtight preferably. Yeah, tea should last forever. So yeah. Oh, it's just so good. Got a cat hair on my mic. I'm just trying to get that off. If you hear some scratching, I do apologise. There we go. Yeah. Oftentimes people get a bit intimidated by tea as well. Like, I mean, I don't know where you're based, but like I'm based in the UK, which you'd think like, oh, yeah. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I mean, I would say I'm selling some tea. I started thinking about like, oh well, I'm gonna do this properly. Like my idea for like okay. Do you know, I started like 3 stories in my head at once. There, I'll settle down and tell one at a time. Yeah, so I actually recently lost my job, which was a little bit sucky, but I wasn't really enjoying the job, so I'm kind of pleased to be out there. But like my big idea was like, oh well, I really love tea. I'm going to start selling tea. It's going to be great. I would sort of direct you to like go have a look at my website, but that's not really quite working yet. I think I put too much time and effort into setting up my streaming setup rather than doing the actual website, which whoopsie daisy. This was more fun. So what do you expect? But like, even if you're not buying from me, like genuinely just getting a bit of loose leaf tea from anywhere, you can get it for fairly cheap. You can get like super expensive stuff. Like the stuff that I've bought in is on like, it's like the fancy pants stuff. But even if you just get some like good quality, standard, cheap loose leaf tea, yeah, it's not intimidating. It's literally just put leaves in water, take the leaves out, you got a tasty drink. Amazing. But like I think I was saying there about, so I'm in the UK. UK you'd think has a really good tea culture, and it does and it doesn't. It's known for drinking tea a lot, but it's mostly like fairly bad quality tea in tea bags. And then you give someone some leaves, here's some leaf that once grew on a bush in China, right? And they go like, oh, I don't know what to do with that. Oh. Nah, leaves in a bowl with water, drink away, all good. I have to do something about my cat. She's being a right nuisance. Oi, get down. Get down. Not ideal for the flow of a stream when every 10 minutes I have to stop to get my cat away from... There we go. Good go. Yeah, people, right? Yeah, now it's queer as folk, as they say. Oh, can I keep my water back up a little bit? It started to dip below 70 there. It's not what I want. But yeah, I do encourage you, if you're, I mean, if I could, I might, nah, it's not worth it. I was going to say I might get up and get some of my brewing equipment and sort of show you some easy, quick ways to like just get into loose leaf tea, because I mean, this is not necessarily entry level, you know. But I encourage you, if you're next time you're passing the store and you see some loose leaf tea and you think to yourself, oh yeah, that dude on twitch.tv, he was telling me about how tea is really accessible and a fun hobby. Like, honestly, I encourage you, give it a go. Right, let's get brew number 3 on here. Actually, I'm going to check my view count. I think it's still just 1, right? Yeah. Let's do this. Sure, sounds good. Oh, about like getting the getting some on pots and stuff out. Honestly, you can't see from this camera, but I have wedged myself in. I've got literally the smallest corner of my room right now. I've got like the sofa is direct. No, hang on. The sofa is directly on this side, and then the window is directly on this side, and then there's the table in front of me and a wall behind me. I might have to re-examine this part of my setup. The screen, everything looks great here, but where I'm sat is not necessarily the most comfortable. Well, that's the thing, is a bit of constructive framing, right? Yeah. What they call that? They call that the magic of television, innit? But yeah, if I get to like maybe 3 or 4 more brews in and I get a bit like, and we continue chatting on, I'll maybe go and see what I can immediately grab. At the minute, I'm kind of, oh no. Oh, I'm glad someone caught that on camera. That was the most unelegant brew I have done for a long old time. Spilled everywhere. Well, do you know what? I say spilled everywhere. The turtle got some. So, you know, it's all good. Actually, no, I think there's a couple of drops in there as well. It's just... There we go. I'm doing some scratching noises in the back here just to distract the cat again. Ugh. Come on. Get down. I think the problem is this cat is used to having my full attention at all times. And now someone else has. And she's not having it. Oh, actually, do you know what? That's actually a really good question. That's honestly a really good question. So, this, like you saw me pouring tea everywhere, right? This is a raised little tray, and these are little slots here to allow, like when I'm pouring water everywhere, the water just drains down these slots, and I've got, oh, if you look right at the very top of the screen, you can see where my hands are poking out there. Oh, I've got, get up. Here we go. Yeah, so I've got, it's basically just a little plastic tray that holds all of the wastewater. Then at the end of the session, I just pull that out and I just line that up. So yeah, I just pull that out and go drain that away. Cat, come on. I know, right? Isn't it cool? Really handy. I've got like another version of it here. I'll just make some space so I can show you on the... So this is like more of like a little travel setup that I've got going. So it's like, dear me. It's basically just like a big bowl, right? So this is made of clay, which is kind of cool. So that's where the water goes in. This is so when I'll say travel. So this is where I put my cups, and this is the pot that came with it. So they'd all sort of go in there. Lid goes on, you can kind of carry it around. So I kind of like, I dig this one. It's really cool. Let's pop this back here. Needs a clean actually. So yeah, this pot I'm kind of into a lot as well. So this is a new acquisition for me. Wait, let me put this away. Oh dear me. So these are Yixing clay pots. I'm not sure if this one is authentically Yixing, if I'm honest with you, but these little clay pots are used quite a lot in like kung fu tea brewing. Not a lot of room, as you can see, but you don't really need a lot of room because they're only using this amount of leaf, really, and you want it to be fairly full. So, oi, cat, get down. There we go. She nearly knocked the whole TV on top of herself there. Yeah, so the idea that this is like untreated clay, and as you brew with these, the tea kind of seasons the porous clay on the inside. So every time you brew it, it kind of enhances the flavor of the tea that you're brewing with. Now, this one's a new buy. I'm a bit annoyed. I got it for fairly cheap, and I found out the reason why was because the spout's obviously been chipped off at some point and been hastily repaired. It still actually brews tea okay, but it's not ideal. But yeah, I also need to decide which type of tea I want to brew in this, because you only really you want to decide on a certain type of tea with these and only use that type of tea, because with the tea going into the pot itself, if you was switching from like white tea to pu'er to oolong all the time, it would just be a bit of muddled. You want to like really focus in hard on a certain style. Where can this live? Let's put this here because it's pretty. You can just live there. There we are. Oop. But yeah. Let's drink some more tea. Oh, okay, yeah, we're hitting a sweet spot now. Hmm. Yeah, I think I mentioned the last brew, there was like that honey sweetness. Yeah, it's like it's definitely still honeyed. It's got more of like a floral nectar-y kind of vibe here. Um, yeah, what's the floral note here? There's a I'm struggling for what exact floral note it is, but there's something distinctly like very springtime meadows kind of flowers. Yeah, honey floral, really nice. Um, got some fruit notes in this as well, so it's going. It's almost like peach. It's almost got. It's you know what? It's almost that honey sweetness and that peach. It's almost got like a canned peaches kind of. Mm. Yeah, really cool. It's really interesting as well when you're brewing it in this style to see how the flavor and the taste changes as we go. Mm. Yeah, this is the good stuff. I still think it's going to have maybe 3 or 4 more really good, interesting, nuanced brews after this one. But I think I found a sweet spot right now. Mm. Oh yeah. As you can tell, because I powered through that for sure. In fact, you know what? Let's get another one on straight away. Why the heck not? Cool. Hmm. Just checking the time. Yeah, it's definitely getting darker earlier now, which is a bit upsetting. I was looking at how dark it was outside. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, it must be like 8 or 9, but no, but no. So whereabouts are you? Are you US? Everyone seems to be US. Oh, I mean, you're not. Bits of that are right for sure. Um, yeah, the first brew. This is the way I'm doing it. If you're doing it in a Western style, where you can have like, I mean, obviously this is kind of just a. This is dramatically overkill here, but say you've got like a Western style teapot, right? That's quite a lot of water. And wait, cat, stop! Come on. There we go. Yeah, but say you had like a big old teapot, and you probably only really have about half the amount of leaf that's in here. So yeah, I would say the first brew, yeah, you've got that opening effect. Same thing was happening here. And then yeah, you might be able to get a second brew out of that. But if again, I'm saying if you're doing it in the big pot with not as much leaf, you're only really gonna be able to extract 2 brews worth out because there's only so much in the leaf to give up, if you know what I mean. There's like so the stuff that makes this a different color and makes it taste great is chemicals that are in the leaf, right? And when you infuse that in the water, the chemicals are coming out, but there's only so much in there. So doing a small amount of leaf to a huge amount of water, it's gonna like keep releasing over the course of like 5 minutes or so. And then, yeah, you can only really do that a couple of times. But doing it like this... let me get that on camera. Also, yeah, look how much that's opening as well. Compared to like how it started down here. Doing it like this. A lot of leaf, a small amount of water, and a small amount of time. That same amount of stuff that's going to leach out into the water, you can just kind of like stretch that over multiple goes. Like if I was to do what I'm doing here, by like brew, pour, brew, pour, brew, pour. If I just poured that all into one big pot, you're gonna get basically the same thing as in doing it Western style, where you do like the one big pot. But I don't know. I like when you do it in this way, seeing how the flavors change and develop. Is a more it's just a more interesting way to drink tea. There's I forget the actual phrase, but there's like an old Chinese saying about so you can brew tea in two ways. You can brew tea for thirst, or you can brew tea for flavor. So you can like bash out a big old vat of tea that's going to be like really tasty, and just like you're going to neck it down, it's going to taste fine and satisfies your thirst. Or this way, I'm sitting down here for a good half an hour at least, and this is my focus. I'm focusing entirely on the flavor and the experience of this. Because at the end of the day, the thing that I really enjoy about this, it's leaves in water, man. It's put leaves in water, it gets stuff out. But that's beautiful, because like this was a leaf that grew on a tree. This was a part of nature, you know? And I'm sitting here and I'm tasting the life cycle of a plant that grew in the soil in a part of the world that I've never visited. That's magic. It's absolutely magic. It's like I'm making a little potion that lets me travel the world and talk to a plant. I mean, that's that's absolute madness when I say it like that, but it's kind of what's happening though, right? Yes, I think I preferred the last one, but still, it's really good. Ooh, nearly knocked my lights over. Good work. So something which has come out on this one, which I didn't necessarily get on the last brew, is this one's got more. It's got like more of a mineral. A mineral quality? Yeah, that makes sense. So it's like, it tastes a little bit more. The best thing I can think to describe of how it's tasting is like wet rocks. If that makes sense. Honestly, cheers, dude. Like this was the exact interactions I kind of wanted to be having on Twitch. So honestly, that was so. Thank you so much for chatting to me. You are officially the OG, and you forever will be that. So if you're heading out, cheers. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and yeah, you take care of yourself, man. Have a good one. Yeah, hopefully we shall cross paths again another day. But yeah, so at this point, I think I should just stop chatting on about the tea again, which, as my good friend in the chat was saying, just keep going, keep chatting. Hopefully people are there. Hopefully people are listening. You never know. So yeah, that's me. I'm gathering steam now, is I think the best way of describing this. This tends to happen to me in the tea session, where I start out quite slow, a little bit more like chill, mellow, and then like the chemicals start, you know? It's the caffeine starts to get you, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I usually get to like 3 or 4 brews in, and I'm just like, yeah, I've got a rhythm now. I've got a bit of a buzz going. I've got just good vibes coming out my ears, you know. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm hitting now. I've been going for I've actually been going for about an hour. You see, time flies when you've got someone to chat to now. Hopefully that happens again. That was nice. I think this tea session vibe will work a lot better when I've got more, like I've got people in the chat. That's the dream. That is the dream, my dudes. Feels about right to me. I might start brewing for a bit longer now, actually. That last one, I think, could have taken a bit more time. Also, as the leaves are getting a bit bigger, it gets a bit harder to pour off all the water, so I'm going to do like a little quick back one there. Because I don't really want to be leaving water like in the bottom of this, because if there was just water around there, all these bits of leaf are just going to keep brewing, and it's going to start releasing some slightly less desirable flavors. I mean, a good quality tea shouldn't really... I mean, unless you really try to ruin it. It might come out quite strong and it might come out quite astringent, but it should still taste interesting and nuanced in its own way. But yeah, the last one I did there could have used maybe an extra 10 seconds to bring out a bit more roundness in the flavor. And yeah, again this time. So next time I brew, I'm actually going to brew for a little bit long. Maybe I might head towards a minute for the next brew. Don't get me wrong, still good. We've lost the round honey. It's more of like a perfume floral now. Yeah, it's not as sweet and round. It's more like top notes and effervescent, like a little sharp. It's not metallic. Mineral is the best. It's like I said this earlier, but wet rocks is the best thing I can think of. Yeah. That's all I'm really getting with this one. It definitely needed a little bit more time. But there are some goodies still within this leaf that I think I need to get out. Oh, look at that, man. That is a little piece of nature that I am consuming right now. I am communing with nature, as it were, if I'm to be a bit hippy-dippy with it. But yeah, if there's anyone else still in the chat who has questions or comments and just wants to know like what the heck is going on, please speak up. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here and chat about tea. On your heads be it. Oh man, I've heard this track in so many backgrounds and so many YouTube videos. What is this? I'll just put on I'll put on a royalty-free playlist. And I've literally just been transported to like the 15 or so YouTube videos that I've seen in the last year. Cute. I'm saving that because I don't even know why I'm saying it. It just it feels like something that's relevant to know. If I'm going to start, you know, content creating, then yeah, it's this bit. Boom, 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 boom. Jesus. It is a bop though, right? You gotta admit, it is kind of a bop. Let's pop that back there. Yeah, I heard a cat somewhere. The cat returns. Oh, no, there you go. She's safe. She's safe. She's been causing a right nuisance this stream. But I think she seems to have settled down. It's good background chill vibes, this one, isn't it? It might be worth doing a little edited down, like, take my VOD and I'll just edit down some highlights. Might try doing that. And having like a little track like this. This seems like a good track for backgrounds in that. Making a mental note. Yeah, let's pop that back. Yeah. Do you know what? There's some. Why am I not enjoying this? I think it's because of this being not quite in line. Oh, now it's not in line in a different way. Oh no. Oh my god. It's the small things, isn't it? That's gonna just have to do. It's just going to have to do, isn't it? Let's mix things up a little bit more. Why not? Let's oh no, let's not do that. Is this the thing? Yeah, look at me. Oh no, I've fallen out of my cup and I can't get up again. No. Cute. Ease. It's probably been about a minute, isn't it? I used to be really like anal on like weighing everything and timing everything, and I kind of put that down a lot to my. Before I was like a massive tea nut, I was super into coffee. I mean, I still kind of am, don't get me wrong. I still like brew a lot of coffee, and I've got like a load of coffee brewing equipment, and that's another thing. I mean, as I was talking about like people being into wines and whiskies and cigars, or I don't even fucking know. And like, well, why can't people be into tea? Coffee's another one of those. Like, the coffee culture that has kind of developed over the last sort of 10 plus years is mad. So what was the point of that? Yes, so I got into, before I was tea nut, I was coffee. Do you know what's going to make this? Yeah, that helps. Stick to the story, dude. The caffeine's hitting. Yes, so I used to be really into, with coffee, I think it's a bit more important that you weigh everything and you time everything and it's a bit more precise. Tea is more vibes. It's more just like go with what feels right in the exact moment. Oh, Jesus. Hello, trumpet. Okay, the extra time really helped there. Somehow it actually this is either a symptom of it of the brew progressing more, or a symptom of the more time, but the sharp edges of that like top note perfumey floral is kind of gone. It's less sharp now. It's less like razor edge sharp, and a lot more smooth. I said in the like around brew 3, I said I got to like round sweetness, like that syrupy, like a viscousy syrup roundness. This is more like I say round, not in a viscousy, thick, syrupy way, more in a like a smooth marble surface. Yeah, that checks out. That's probably right. Maybe. Yeah. You might be sitting there watching this. I mean, is there anyone sitting there watching this? Let me check my... You can't tell with these view counts. Oh, I'm not going to bother looking at it. But yeah, I'm going to assume there's people out there. You might be sitting there watching this going, what the hell's this dude on about? Round like a smooth marble surface. What's that even mean? And to be fair, you're right. It is all kind of nonsense, really. But that is just... It's the nature of the beast with this kind of thing. When you're describing... And again, this is not like confined to tea, but when you're describing flavour and smell and all that, it's all very subjective, really, isn't it? It's all based on your past experiences, and so to try and describe that to someone else, you have to by necessity use quite evocative language, because you're trying to evoke a feeling in that person, because smells and tastes do that. They evoke feelings in you and memories. So you're trying to use language to get that point across. So you might start saying weird shit, but you know, if it gets the point that you're trying to make across, then mission successful, you know? Like I think I once said, I was drinking a white tea. That's an idea for a stream, just explaining the different types of tea. Be a white tea to me is what's like the least processed style of tea. Is still a bit oxidized though, so it gives it a bit more complex flavor, which I dig. But it feels very like humans haven't had much of their grubby little mitts involved, which I kind of dig. And for me, it tastes very springtime, very spring summer. It's like so I tasted this white tea once, and the way I tried to describe it, it was like, it tastes to me like a blonde-haired woman skipping through a golden meadow. And it's like that. In hindsight, what the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean? Absolute nonsense. But in my mind, that's kind of what was happening, so I said it. Yeah, so that's my tip to anyone watching. If you want to describe flavour in... I mean, obviously there's more to it. There's people study this stuff, and there's like sommelier courses and all sorts of stuff. But for me, if I'm trying to describe flavour, I go into it, head empty, no thoughts. And then experience the thing. And then just first thing that comes to mind. First thing that comes to mind, you just say it. So for me there, actually, I just did that, and I got something that I've not got from this tea before. A interesting, like, I was going to say spice note. It was not quite spice. Like dried licorice root came to me there. But like the aftertaste of it, because you know my main experience of it comes from doing licorice, like herbal tea, to be honest with you. But when you do that, it gets really syrupy sweet. So not the sweetness of licorice, but like that aftertaste, that medicinal aftertaste. Yeah. And I can't say I've ever got that from this tea before, so that was kind of groovy. That was kind of interesting. I dig it. Ooh. How noisy is this kettle? Can't be that noisy. I did a little bit of fiddling around with mic settings, so hopefully it should be mostly... Well, I tried to get a little bit of this, clinky clanky action happening. Just because I find that quite satisfying, really. But I did try to isolate it down to mostly my voice and kind of this area of the mic. So hopefully I'll check the VOD later. I'll see if it works. Right. Ooh, I'm starting to run low on water, actually. I usually have some backup water with me so I can refill my kettle. But I didn't do that today. That was silly. Yeah, I think maybe this one and one more. And that's probably around about... That could be where I want to stop anyway, if I'm honest with you. Oh, seeing as I'm waiting for this to brew, I'm going to see if I can... Ooh, I'm going to... Now, you can't see this at all on the camera. I'm going to pull off a cheeky little recline here. Yeah. Yeah, this is the good feeling I get from a tea session. Obviously, it's nicer to have company for these because I'm chilling, I'm reclined, I'm feeling quite satisfied in a way that is difficult to describe. Yeah, this is a good headspace to be in. I forget the point of why I brought that up, but I think it's just because I'm sitting reclining. Actually, do you know what? Yeah, look, it's my little. As you can see, look how reclined and comfortable I look, having tipped out of my cup. Yeah. That was a bit cheeky, actually. I think I put VTuber as a tag in the stream description. I think, it's a bit of a stretch, that, isn't it? I think PNG tuber would work, but oh well. Oh well. Got to play the game, haven't you? Got to get some tags involved. Hopefully find the right people. Cast a wide net. Yeah. That's probably quite long enough. Ooh. Let's move the mic again. Is there a way I can get this pour a little bit more satisfying? Not really. Maybe if I do the full pour in this little backwards pose. Maybe if I... Nope, that's worse. It's the angle of the camera, isn't it? Oh well. You learn. This is how we learn these things. Learn by doing. Hell yeah. It's still okay. to be fair, it's not jumping out of the cup as much as it was in the first few brews, but if you get your nose in there, it still smells good. Still smells good. So this is gonna need some work as well. I'll think of something. Is this useful? Maybe too much glare. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, still a decent amount of colour coming off this, which does indicate to me that we're still in good drinkable territory. Ooh, but we're heading towards the end. That was a nice long brew. I'm starting to get what I can only describe as a slightly watered down finish now, so that's a sign that we're heading towards the end. Still tasty though. Still really tasty. Yeah, it's good. Oh yeah, Slurpee boy. See, that might not be for everyone, the slurp noises. It is the way I like to drink my tea, though. So, whoopsie daisy. You can sort of... people could say to you that it's like, oh, I'm aerating the tea as I drink. It could be an argument for kind of... Especially if I was drinking like a hotter brewed tea, because I'm like around about the 85-degree mark on this one. If I was brewing like a pu'er, like nice and boiling hot. Pu'er boiling hot? Yeah, like a cooked pu'er. Then there could be argument for that slurping is cooling down the tea as you're drinking it. But yeah. I just think it's fun. That's the long and short of it, really. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Alright, this might be my last one. But it's been a good session. Like I say, I got my first follower. That was cool. Had a bit of a chat with a stranger. Also cool. Oh, this is very low on water. Have I actually got enough? Probably. Yeah. That and actually... if I wanted to squeeze one more, maybe. I'll see how I feel. This one I don't anticipate to be mind-blowing flavour-wise. But I think I was describing to your man earlier. Just the flow of the ceremony of it all is, I don't know, it's soothing. So I might be drinking more for hydration at this point, but I mean, that's not a bad thing. Yeah. Again, I'm going to go for a nice long brew on this one. Oh yeah, it's dark outside for now. Like, my only light is the ring light now, but Yeah. It's a bit beauty vlogger, isn't it? It's having all these circular reflections. I am in no position to afford a light diffuser right now, though, so this is how it shall be. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the tea business will take off. I should really work on the website more. Not today, though. Not today. It is Saturday evening. I'm chilled out with some tea. And that is how it shall remain. Alright. Shall we see? Do you know what I'm going to do? Just do a little agitation. Why the heck not? Oh, clogged up the thing. Talking about reclined. Too reclined. He was too reclined. And that was how he died. What the fuck? It is fun though, I mean, like... Last few drops. Awesome. I mean, that's cool. That is cool. Like, objectively, from this to this. Really fun. Yes. Yes. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, actually, just because there was just enough, I'm just going to... Oh, am I? I'm gonna up that to 90. I'm gonna do a cheeky forbidden technique. It's not that forbidden, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm gonna flip. Ooh, isn't that fun? So that's my leaf. Can I get a better angle on that one? Funky. So yeah, I'm just gonna like tip that upside down, really. Maybe I can squeeze a bit more flavor out. My hands are clean, do not worry. Also, I'm using like really hot water on it, so. Any nasties would be thankful. Oh, look at that. Nice. Last few drops and I got exactly what I needed. All right. Let's leave that to sit just while I finish this one off. So yeah, that might maybe squeeze a bit more out. We'll see how this one is. Ooh, actually. Ooh. Okay. The aftertaste is, it doesn't linger as much as earlier brews. What the crap is this? Is this a fucking Mario? I was about to skip it, but this is kind of going hard, and do you know what? It can stay. This can stay. Why the heck not? I'm trying to talk seriously about this tea, but I don't think it's really. I can't do it with this music on. But yeah, it is more of a thin. Boom, boom, boom. No, I've got to skip it. It's too silly. It's too silly. As fun as you were, be gone, please. There we go. Yeah, for the third time, bit of a thinner taste to this one. But still good. It's like that floral never goes away. What's another skip? Just gonna keep doing vocal. No. Okay, we good. I'm starting to lose my focus. This is again something which can happen with tea ceremonies when you get a buzz off the caffeine, but there's like antioxidants, like you get like things like theanins, and you got like catechins and stuff, which like cross the blood-brain barrier as well, and kind of send you on this fun little zen journey. So the caffeine's making me a bit like, ooh, shiny, what's that? Ooh, what's going on? But everything else is kind of mellowing me down, so I'm still in a very centered place. It's a cool combo. Yeah, still floral. Almost like a lavender, actually. Do I mean lavender? I think I do. Yeah, that's sort of... I've been describing it as like perfumey, like aggressively perfumey. That seems to have resolved into a mellow lavender vibe. Which is cool. That medicinal licorice doesn't seem to have lasted much more than that one brew. Do I want to re-examine that spice? I don't think it's spicy. Nah. Oh. Whoops. I went to pour myself some more there. Alas, no. No was the call. Do you know what? One little drop. There you are, my dude. Drink up. Ooh. Do you know what might be? What might be interesting? I can maybe use my phone as a little portable webcam. If I can connect that up to like this section of the screen, I can do little close-ups. I think it'd be nice to have a little angled close-up, like, you know, that might be fun. We'll see. Right, I'm being extra sort of like brutal with this. Like, usually I wouldn't really want to disrupt this little nest of tea too much, but I think this is definitely the last one. I have seen there's in some tradition there's like the very final thing you do with this leaf is you would take it to like a pot and like boil it in like rolling boil it. Oddly enough, I've seen it happening a lot with white teas more than anything else. But yeah, basically the idea being to extract the maximum from the leaf. Because if you're spending a lot of money on some tea, right, you want to get the most out of it. And this whole shebang here, yeah, you're getting a lot out of it for sure. That's what this style of brewing tea is best for. It's for really experiencing the maximum flavour from as much leaf as you have. Yeah, I've never really done the whole boiling it after the fact. Might start. Not sure how it would work on a stream, but you know. Also, I've noticed this is a semicolon. Can't be doing with that. A little bit of housekeeping as we go. a small change, but it pleases me nonetheless. I'm just stalling for time because I'm trying to get a little bit extra brew time. Okay. That as well, yeah. That's slightly more visually pleasing. This is the stuff I can sit and fiddle with for hours. It's very unproductive, but I find it satisfying. Alright, that's as much as I can, in all good conscience, pad for. So, the final brew. Let's go. We get a pog in the chat. Oh, I've clogged the thing again. Jesus. Jesus, this is very unpog. Pulse champ, pulse champ. There we go, last few drops. Good colour actually, more colour than the last brew, which, you know, I did go for a while on that one. And I did do the, oh, I flipped the script as well, didn't I? So that probably helped. Let's see. Ooh. Something vegetal. This is definitely the last brew. Yeah, like I'm not going to push it any further than this, but like, I say vegetal. I'm changing that to more like a wood bark. Yeah, like a mossy wood bark. Which is a flavour it's not been there at all through any of the other brews. Interesting. The floral's still there, but it's being overpowered a little bit. Still good. Honestly, if I was to push it, if I really want to push it, if I brewed it another couple of times, it'd still be something interesting would happen. It would still be tasty, but I think we're past like the golden zone. Hell yes. All right. We'll drop feed. Let's clear my zone a little. No, actually, a little bit in there. Pouring out for my boy. There you go. You got the first sip and the last sip. Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah, thanks for joining me today for some tasty oolong. Will this work? Oh. My boy. I wonder what's for dinner. What am I on about, Jesus? Yeah, so that was fun. And thanks for... oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to have a T-Pet cam. That's another thing. I could get a... Oh, the ideas. The ideas are coming thick and fast. This is what happens when you drink tea. Neurons activate. Yeah. So I've been drinking today some not very well labelled Oolong, which came out looking real pretty. It's a real pretty leaf right there. Started its life looking like this. Very tightly wound pellets. And finished its life. Look at that. That's just fun, isn't it? It's just fun. All this stuff, I love tea. It's so cool. Let's zoom out again a bit. Oh, that's not out, that is in. Let's do this. Is this working? Do a little side by side. I'm just playing around now. Checking that I can actually do it. Oh, do you know what? Actually, yeah, this would have been way better. I could have done this right at the start. Oh well. Because there's a lot of dead space there. Yeah, there we go. So we have start versus finish. And just, yeah, it was really good. The journey of getting from start to finish was a delight every step of the way. Yeah, maybe a final thoughts segment. That's not a bad idea. We had lots of floral notes from the get-go. And a remarkably sweet middle section there. Remarkably sweet. I think I mentioned canned peaches at one point. That was good. Yeah, that fruity peach, I think, was the best fruit note I could come up with for that. Yeah, like the florals stuck through. Some nice mineralic kind of wet rock aftertaste was also mentioned. Yeah, and we kind of like got some more interesting, bizarre flavors just towards the end as we petered out and tailed off. Yeah, a good session. A good session, some might say. But yeah, this has been. Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna get back in my cup. My chilled out, relaxed vibes. They must cease. This is the wrap up. This is the formal wrap up, which apparently I've decided is going to become part of the routine. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't. Who knows? You'll have to come back and find out next time. But yeah, I've had a really good time today. Thanks for anyone who dropped in. Thanks for people who chatted and followed. That was great. I really enjoyed that. More of that in the future, please, if I can manage it. But even if you were just lurking, yeah. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for spending some of your time with me tonight. If you enjoyed this sort of thing, please feel free to let me know. I will hopefully be back for more in the future. I think I've got my socials have been kind of flashing on the screen, so nothing's really happening with them just yet, but you know, watch this space. This is all very new for me. But yeah, if you want to keep up with me, feel free to follow on any of those channels. And yeah, fully functional website coming soon as well. Now I've said it in the public sphere, I've got to make it true. Damn it. Yeah, so hopefully at least one of these a week, maybe more. I'll see how it fits into my routine. And yeah, thanks for coming, guys. Shall speak to you all soon. Bye.